The Yamaha garage at Sepang was anything but calm. Closed doors, hushed conversations, and visible tension painted a worrying picture as Yamaha's long-awaited V4 project flirted with crisis. What was meant to be a crucial step forward instead turned into a test of nerves, patience, and damage limitation. Tempers flared, uncertainty spread, and concern deepened when engine issues sidelined Yamaha's new V4 prototype, while Fabio Quartararo's terrifying crash only added fuel to an already blazing fire. Even Toprak Razgatlioglu's name hovered uncomfortably around the unfolding drama, hinting that the problems may run deeper than first feared. Yet just when Yamaha needed a lifeline, Rins quietly delivered one. On the final day of the Sepang Motogp pre-season test, the Spaniard emerged as Yamaha's fastest rider, dragging the V4 back into the spotlight and offering a fragile sense of hope amid the chaos. Rins ended the Sepang Motogp test as Yamaha's fastest rider after the V4 prototype finally returned to action following serious technical concerns earlier in the week. The Spaniard approached the final day cautiously, mindful of the restrictions imposed by Yamaha after overnight investigations into the engine problems that had forced the V4 off track on day 2. Those issues initially surfaced on the opening day, affecting Fabio Quartararo and, reportedly, also Toprak Razgatlioglu. At first, the seriousness of the situation was masked by news of Quartararo's injury. The Frenchman suffered a fractured finger in a high-speed, low-side crash at turn 5, an incident confirmed to be unrelated to the engine issue, and was ruled out for the remainder of the Sepang test. However, when Yamaha's garage doors remained firmly shut for all riders on day 2, the technical concerns could no longer be ignored. Following an intensive overnight investigation involving Yamaha's engineering teams in both Japan and Italy, the manufacturer allowed its riders back on track on the final day, albeit under strict conditions. Fortunately, most of the important things we needed to test were already done during the shakedown and the first day, Rins explained. I don't want to say it changes nothing, because every lap matters, especially now you can't afford to lose track time. Yamaha limited mileage and intensity, urging riders to treat the session more as a validation run than a performance push. Jack Miller, however, was quick to downplay the alarm bells, insisting such setbacks are part of any major development project. "We didn't do any setup work," Miller said. "The plan for yesterday and today was to try minimal items and put laps in for suspension and fork testing. Unfortunately, because of the problems we had, we couldn't. So today, Yamaha told us we could ride, but calmly. We couldn't do many laps, but at least we were back on the track." Technical director Max Bartolini later confirmed that the decision to resume running came after further overnight analysis. After additional investigations carried out overnight between Japan and Italy to identify the cause of the technical issues observed on our bikes on the first day, Yamaha has decided to continue track activity at Sepang, Bartolini stated. Importantly, Bartolini clarified that the engine issue under investigation was not linked to Quartararo's Turn 5 crash. While Rins' pace on the final day offers Yamaha a much-needed morale boost, the wider picture remains uneasy. The V4 engine, already believed to trail rival manufacturers in outright performance, may now require precautionary limitations. Paddock whispers suggest that Yamaha riders were hitting the rev limiter noticeably earlier on the Sepang straights, raising the possibility that engine output has been deliberately capped as a safeguard. If true, this would underline how fragile the project still is at this early stage. More concerning is the timing. With just one pre-season test remaining in Buriram on 21st to 22nd February, Yamaha has precious little time to validate reliability, performance and rideability before the Motogp 2026 season opener in Thailand. Quartararo's absence compounds the issue. Yamaha desperately needs feedback from its lead rider, and while the Frenchman is expected to return in Buriram, any lingering physical limitations could restrict meaningful development input. The tension inside Yamaha's garage is therefore understandable. A V4 engine represents a philosophical shift for a manufacturer long married to inline-4 tradition. Such a leap was always going to come with risk. But engine concerns so early in testing inevitably raise questions. For now, Rins has kept Yamaha afloat. Miller remains pragmatic, and Quartararo's return offers hope. But unless the Buriram test delivers clean running and convincing progress, Yamaha's V4 revolution could enter the 2026 season under a cloud of uncertainty rather than confidence. The clock is ticking, and Yamaha knows it. Beyond the lap times, what truly alarmed insiders was the atmosphere inside Yamaha's garage. Engineers were seen poring over laptops late into the evening, while riders were repeatedly briefed with unusually cautious instructions. This was not the body language of a factory fully confident in its new weapon, but rather one trying to steady a ship in choppy waters. Toprak Razgatlioglu's name continues to surface quietly in the background of the V4 discussion. Although Yamaha has not officially detailed his feedback, sources suggest the reigning world SBK star also experienced irregular behavior from the engine on day one. For a rider known for pushing machinery to its limits, such instability would have been immediately evident. And concerning, the reality is that Yamaha's V4 project is still in its infancy, and early setbacks are not uncommon when abandoning a long-standing engineering philosophy. However, rivals are not standing still. Ducati, KTM and Aprilia have years of V4 optimization behind them, meaning Yamaha is effectively racing against both time and experience. Another key concern lies in rideability rather than outright power. Early limiter intervention, whether precautionary or necessary, can drastically affect how riders attack braking zones and corner exits. At Sepang, a circuit that rewards smooth acceleration, this limitation may have masked deeper issues that could be exposed brutally at tracks like Buriram. The Thai circuit's long straights and high ambient temperatures will place enormous stress on Yamaha's new engine. If cooling efficiency, combustion stability, or electronic control strategies remain unresolved, the Buriram test could prove far more revealing and unforgiving than Sepang ever was. For Quartararo, the timing could not be worse. As Yamaha's benchmark rider, his feedback is central to shaping the V4's direction. Even if he returns fully fit, he will be stepping onto a project that has already lost valuable testing mileage, leaving little margin for personal setup exploration.